With Mr. Bob Pollock from the Extension. Conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. You there? Does it work?
I think so.
You think so?
One side of it works.
One side works? Oh, jeez. All right, we'll get you
Could have something to do with the duct tape, right?
Yeah, there's duct tape on the headset. You can give Bob a call at 349-WCCS 479-1160. If you've got a question for him about lawns, gardens, all kinds of things that are issues at this time of the year, week away from Christmas. So this report from Spotted Lanternfly, did you see this?
No, the most recent one, I haven't seen that yet.
This particular report that I read said that state officials from the Agriculture Department and Penn State Extension say that Spotted Lanternfly, not so much this year, but it's not because they think they left. They're just better at hiding. They think they're still there. There's just people who haven't seen them. Sightings are way off this year, but they're still believing that they're all still there. And I saw a picture of a tree trunk posted by Extension that was completely covered with them.
Yes.
They're bigger than I anticipated or than I thought that they were. If I were to hold one in the palm of my hand, how big would that baby be?
They're probably about an inch long.
Yeah? Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay.
They might look bigger in the picture than they are actually. But when you get but think about how many of them there are when they've completely covered the trunk of a tree.
Yeah.
Thousands, tens of thousands.
Yeah, it's like there was a car parked beside the tree, and I thought, wow, those things are bigger than I thought that they were. And this was in the gray phase before they turn all colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're thinking that come next spring, the hatchlings are, they'll be perfectly fine.
They'll survive the winter.
Yeah, which is not good. Also, they're thinking that they're migrating rather than westward so much. They're migrating east into New Jersey. So they can have them.
In some respects, that's okay, right?
Yeah.
Better them than us.
They migrate then out into the Atlantic Ocean,
yes.
and everybody's good.
And they can sail back to where they came from.
Yeah. All right, so the spotted lanternfly, not as much of a threat this year as we had thought that they might be, but still out there. And all of the counties that were quarantined are still
I don't believe that has changed. So that'll keep going. Mm-hmm. And it's very common to have fluctuations in insect populations.
Yeah.
So the insect itself, with a number of these invasive pests, over time, it seems like, they're here. There's the initial blast, and then things get tempered a little bit. Yeah, the populations ebb and tide, depending on the growing conditions, and then you also can have predators, parasites that come in and start to affect the population.
Yeah.
But it takes time for that to happen. There can be funguses, not just other insects, but diseases that can affect the population, and that varies. And we've seen that with gypsy moth and other things.
I was just thinking of gypsy moth. Of course, the state sprays for gypsy moth.
Right, but not nearly
like they used to,
like they had to originally.
Yeah. What about emerald ash borer? We heard so much about it, killed all the ash trees. Did it move on looking for other ash forests somewhere?
Right, it's still around, but not nearly, because all those trees have died. Then that's, they're not attacking dead trees. They're trying to attack live trees. So there's still some ash trees around.
Oh, yeah.
And so whether there's some individual resistance in those trees that allowed them to survive, or they just kind of missed them, and now there's not enough of a population of ash trees left that the insects have moved on.
They literally ate themselves out of house and home.
Yep.
Okay. I noticed the moles are doing a number on the yard, on the acreage out there, and so that's nice and tunnely. Not a whole lot you can do about that in the wintertime, is there?
Yeah, not so much. I mean, they're still going to be active looking for insects to feed on, as well as earthworms. They do seem to really move around, though. Sometimes you'll have them, sometimes you won't. People that have never had them all of a sudden have them, and then a couple years later, they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
So they're nomadic. They move around to where they can get food. So just because they've set up home at your place today doesn't mean they'll be there 5 years from now.
We're a week away from Christmas, folks getting out their poinsettias so that they can bloom red for them. So if they've done the job right, and some people just do it for the challenge of it.
Right.
Others say, I'll just go get a plastic one, or I'll get a whole new plant this year, and I don't want to bother with all of that. So that's happening right now. I note that our Christmas cactus that always blooms, not blooming this year.
Did it already bloom?
No,
not yet.
No, it's got a few buds that have come, just tiny. They're in the tiny stage, so they're going to be. Ours is not going to be a Christmas cactus. It's going to be more like a Martin Luther King Jr. Day cactus.
Yeah, that can happen.
The President's Day cactus is out there,
and that's all, based on when it was able to get those dark conditions. Enough darkness in those hours strung together every day. To initiate those flower blooms.
But in our same place for 15 years.
Ours is just have a few blooms left. I mean, they're still open.
Oh yeah.
It was the Thanksgiving cactus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was in full bloom at Thanksgiving, and now it's almost finished.
Remember Dave's cactus
that
Dave sat out here in the lobby for those years? That was enormous
monster.
I don't know where it went to. I think
I'm sure he has
got
that.
It.
I'm sure he has that at home, and
you think so?
He's been enjoying it.
Yeah, that baby really heavy to lift.
He took care of that. I can't believe that he's not still doing that.
The way that he gave his heart and soul to it.
He sure did.
Yeah, lots of people did.
And you could tell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so those are some of the things that are out there as issues for us, the Christmas plants and everything. Of course, every year we talk about Christmas trees and those who want to do a live tree that they're going to take then back out into the yard and find a place for it to live the rest of its days. And that hole should already be dug, huh? Even though the soil's not going to be frozen.
No, we've had some nice days that you could dig a hole.
Yeah. In fact, the forecast doesn't seem to indicate that that'll be a problem digging a hole anymore.
Next week it looks like the lows will be, 21 on Sunday night. Mm-hmm. Somewhere around there. I looked at it once and it said 20, and then the next time I looked 5 minutes later it said 21 degrees. So, but still cold enough that the ground can start to get harder than it normally is.
20 on Sunday, 25, 24, 23, going through the week. Thursday warms up with low temperatures in the 30s. For Christmas week, high temperatures in the 40s, not a bad deal.
No. Not at all.
Yeah, you'll take something like that.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Anything
a little behind on moisture.
Yeah, we are.
But
yeah, anything that we need to be thinking about in terms of winter preparations, salt trucks, and things like that. Yeah. I know that we want our plants to survive getting all that salt thrown on them. And
so that's another thing. We're having a nice string of weather here where you can get out, and if you need to put up barriers, burlap, things like that to help shield, make a barrier between the salt spray and the plants.
Yeah.
Now's time to get those stakes put in the ground and get that up.
Not a good idea to
even netting,
Yeah, netting. But I was thinking
not so much
the black plastic that you put on your garden. You don't want to wrap your tree in that completely.
No. But so keep it away. It doesn't have to be right on it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be right on it. Shouldn't be right on it. Mm-hmm. You can have a little bit of room there. We're just trying to make a barrier, essentially like a snow fence, just to help catch that salt spray when it comes off the road and minimize the amount that gets on the plant needles, leaves.
Now, next Saturday, Christmas Day, they're predicting a mix of rain and snow. When you get those things and they form ice on your shrubbery and bend them down and threaten to break the branches, if you've got the foliage encased in ice and it seems to be damaging the stalk, it's a really tricky proposition to get that off of there without breaking it yourself.
Right. In most cases, we just want to let that alone. If it's a plant that's sensitive to that, then just using a little bit of twine just to kind of wrap it a little bit, just to hold those branches up so that they won't splay out when those conditions occur. That's really all that's needed.
When you get a foot of snow on top of a plant, though, and shrubs, that's going to bend them down and really hurt them.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's some upright junipers that can, the branches can be still pretty flexible, so that when you get that heavy wet snow or then ice on there, those can splay out or bend out, bow out. Once they really bow out, it's pretty tough to get them back into place. So again, just tying those up loosely, almost like you would bale up a Christmas tree when you're hauling it. Not that tight, but similar. Just wrap that around just enough to hold everything in place so that it's protected against that conditions.
Wanted to ask you this question about ornamental grasses. We've got some ornamental grass down by the burn barrel that stands about 2.5, 3 feet high. Of course, it's dead now. Should I just leave it like that? It's still standing tall but dead, and cut it off in the spring, or do I need to cut it off at all? Is it just going to regenerate and get rid of the old dead stuff?
You can do either. A lot of times we can let them stand all winter just to have some of the seed heads and everything, and then watch it move in the wind all winter long. And eventually over winter, sometimes the winds or snow load will break those things down, and they'll kind of be a mess by spring. But on some of the shorter varieties, they tend to maybe hold up a little bit better. But yes, you can. That's dead now. You can trim those back now if you want to clean it up and leave it alone, or you can leave it there and then do the cleanup in the spring. It's good to get that cut off before the new growth starts in the spring.
All right, I see Senator Pittman and Senator Martin coming in here. They're going to be our guests right after the top of the hour. All right, what else do we need to know as we head toward Christmas, and then the new year is coming?
It is.
Farm show on the way?
It's on the way.
Yeah, you going to be making the trip out again?
I'll be making the trip.
Yeah, judging anything or just being?
It'll be back in person again.
Yeah, wow, that's going to be good, huh?
No, I won't be judging, but I will be working with the Christmas tree department.
What's the date of the farm show?
It will be, so it's the 8th to the 13th. It's Saturday to Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. He's Bob Pollock, Penn State Extension. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you. Same to you.